Hi guys, I like this. Let's get to it. Click on the Effects tab. Under Effects, bring in a Fusion comp. Drag it to the timeline, right click on it, open it in Fusion page. Resize this, drag it to the right. Bring in a text 3D node. Let's drag that to the right viewer. Let's make it a single viewer node. On here, let's just type the latest movie, Marvel. On the font, let's type no shock. Let's go to the settings, go to extrusion. Set the extrusion depth to 0.1. Let's set the bevel depth to 0.01. And let's set the bevel width to 0.005. So we have something like this. If we click on this to show it in 3D view, we have something smooth like so. Let's go to media pool. I have some things I downloaded, so I'm just going to pull them in like so. Let's delete the merge. If I drag this to the viewer, we have this background, which is going to be the final background. So I'm just going to rename it. This one is peeling wall. Rename it as such. Peel. Let's rename this marble. And the last one is concrete. Let's just bring the peel wall in. And now for the text, let's bring in Shift spacebar, bring in replace material 3D. Let's drag this down, bring this peel up. Let's drag this to beside it. Let's bring in a create bump map node, Shift spacebar, create bump map. After this, bring in a bump map node. And then after this, bring in a cook torrent node. Let's disconnect that. Now I want the bump map here. Right click on it. I'm going to drop this on here onto here and go to rough material. Drag it again here. Click on bump map material. So it's connected to two nodes on quick torrents. Now for the input for this diffuse color material, I'm going to use the peel. So I'm going to bring in the transform tool. Connect this to the transform tool. Now for this transform tool, I go to size, uncheck size and aspect. And for the Y value, I'm going to set this to 0.15 and set the edges to mirror. So we have something like this. Connect this to cook torrents. Cook torrents will look like so. So what we're going to do for the create bump map, we're going to feed it with the same thing we have here. And then for create bump map, we're just going to go to 5. And let's just increase the height scale to maximum. Go to bump map and change that to bump map. So we have this very rough texture here. And we connect this to replace material. And then we have this here. We have the text, really jagged looking thing. Drag this here. We bring in a merge 3D node. Connect this to a merge 3D node. Now for this merge 3D, we're going to bring in two lights. Shift spacebar, bring in a directional light. Connect that here. Shift spacebar, bring in a spotlight. Spotlight. And connect that here. Like so. Now for the directional light, we go to the transform node. For X rotation, we're going to type -60, then 60, then 30. For the spotlight, we go to transform, set the X value to 0.725, the Y value to 0.25, and then the Z value to 0.725. The X rotation, set that to 60, and then we click on use target. All right, then we bring in a renderer 3D node, connect this to the renderer 3D node. Let's drag that to the viewer. Then I'm going to click on here. I'm going to bring in a transform 3D. So you see the text is not exactly, if I zoom out, let's close this media pool, drag this down a bit. You see it's not actually at the center of the footage. So what I'm going to go here, I'm just going to go to the text 3D reduce the size first to 0.6. And then I'm going to go to layout. I'm going to pull it down. Let's just say 0.375. That looks like it's the center. Now for the renderer 3D, a few adjustments. Let's go to renderer type, hardware renderer. Click on light, click on shadows. Now for this transform, there are some things. The angle here changes to 90. So it looks more interesting. So if we zoom in to fit, see we have this going. So you'll see that as we are on the renderer 3D, as we have the zoomed in version, it's not looking so cool. So we go to the text. If we click on the text, we go under shading. Then we click on image. Under image, this mapping level, change it to word. So it looks much better. We now need to put this on that background, this back here. Let's bring that here. Let's bring in a merge. Connect this to the background node of this merge and connect the renderer 3D to the foreground. Drag that to the viewer. If we do zoom to fit, we already have something really looking nice. But right now we have not done any animation. So we go to the text, go to text 3D, go to the text tab. And then for tracking, set this to 1.5. Keyframe that. Go to frame 50, set it to 1. And go back to frame 0. Go to this transform 3D. Set the value of this transform. Let's increase the value till the text is out of the view. Let's say 2. Keyframe that. Go to frame 40. And set that back to 0. Now for the transform, go to the spline editor, click on Z offset. Let's drag this up a bit. Click on zoom to fit. Select all the keyframes. Let's drag this down like so, and drag this down like so. We go back to the node tree. Let's go to the text itself. Click on the text. Click on character spacing, zoom to fit. Click on this. Let's drag it down the same kind of curve. Click on this and drag this like so. And then we close the spline editor. For renderer 3D, we ensure it's hardware renderer, lighting and shadows. Go to output channels and tick vector. Click on renderer 3D, shift spacebar, type vector and pick vector motion blur. Add that. Now connect this renderer 3D to this green input. This green input is the vector motion blur vectors, right? On the vector motion blur, go to scale, set this to 0.5. We are practically done. Just a few more adjustments. You see that the text is kind of brown and the background is blue. We need to change that. So I'm going to go here, drag this here, bring in a color corrector node, connect that here, and then just drag this here a bit so it looks kind of brownish like so. Let's increase the contrast so it looks a little dark. Yeah, something like this is good. We go here. Let's go here and bring in a light ray node. Light rays, add that. Let's bring that to the viewer. We already have something beautiful going. For the length, let's just set the length to something really nice. Drag the brightness to 1 and set this value for the Y to 0.55. Kind of looks a little too bright. So I'm just going to go to the brightness and drop it just a little bit. So it's like so. Let me just bring between here and the merge node, let's bring in a brightness contrast node to brighten the text a little bit. So I'm going to bring in a brightness contrast node in here and just increase the brightness just a little bit. Just a little bit. Click on that and click predivide and multiply. So we have this, and let's go to the beginning and play what we've done. Very simple stuff. straightforward. Hope you had fun on this one. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Cheers.